So Tesla just dropped news that they're going to increase their spend for 2023 to over $9 billion. They've previously targeted from $7 to $9 billion in the past. So today we'll review why they're doing this, where are they spending this money, and why now. We'll walk through their 10Q statement and pull out the important nuggets for us Tesla investors. We've got Brian White with us. Welcome, Brian.
Hey, Herbert, this is a topic I'm very excited about because we know where the money's going, and I'm excited to see how it's
You
spent.
know where the money's going because you follow the factories and all that very closely. So let's show the announcement. So Sawyer kind of showed that the 10Q, when it dropped, they're going to, for 2023, Tesla announced they're going to exceed the 7 to 9 billion, which is what they previously laid out earlier this year. They're going to ramp up their output at its factories, gears up to roll out new models. So what's interesting is that they're increasing it to over 9 billion was what they said. But at the same time, at the earnings call, they said that they need to be very careful with the future. They're going to slow down possibly the Giga Mexico launch. And then they shored up their cash from 23 to $26 billion. So we're going to walk through some of these key points here. This is kind of the 10Q. But the first one is owing and subject to the foregoing, as well as the pipeline of announced projects under development, all other continuing infrastructure growth and varying levels of inflation, we currently expect our capital expenditures to exceed $9 billion in 2023. And then the following years, they're going to go back to the 7 to 9 billion. Why are they expanding this year, Brian?
Because they have to. They really have to. They've got products that they've already got out that they want to spend a little bit more on. They would love to get the changes that we're already seeing in China on the Models 3 and Y rolled out in the US. That's going to cost money, and they want to do it quick and get it back up to full speed as quickly as possible. That might mean new equipment. Then you've got, of course, the Cybertruck. I think they are preparing for a level of demand that they didn't expect. Now, they had said that the Model Y, Elon had said the Model Y could become the best-selling car in the world. I don't know how convinced he was of that when he said it, but it came true. And getting there, once they saw what the demand actually was, required quite a bit of additional spending. A lot of the spending that was dedicated to the Cybertruck was redirected to the Model Y because it made sense to do it. They knew the demand was there. They knew the product was ready to be built and shipped. So they just did it. I think they're preparing behind the scenes to get more Cybertrucks out sooner. And that costs money. Of course it does. And then, of course, you've got a bunch of money you want to spend on superchargers, on megapack deployments. It could be that if the battery suppliers have the capacity, because I think CATL is only running at 70%, it could be that they're planning 2 megapack factories to roll out beginning any day in other locations because the demand appears sufficiently strong. And as the price continues coming down, those megapacks work in more and more applications where they might not have at their current price point. So there's a lot of headroom for products, but all of them cost money. And then, of course, you'll have the factory in Mexico being built. That costs money. And they had said once that started, we may be announcing an additional factory that's going to cost the same amount somewhere else. It used to be in the early days that Tesla would build, the phase 1 of Shanghai was estimated to be between $1 and $2 billion. That's great. That's a great price for the amount of production they get out of it. But everything since then has been much grander in scale and ambition and cost. So the second half of that factory that builds Model Y is a much larger, taller, more heavy-duty sort of building. Giga Berlin and Texas are much, much bigger buildings. 6 million, 9 million square feet, respectively, for Berlin and Texas. Those cost a lot more money when you're talking something that big. In terms of dollars per spent for production, Tesla gets the most of any of their competitors. But in order to get to 10 million, 20 million units, you're going to still need to spend a lot of money on factories.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think it's beyond Cybertruck. It's exactly what you said, factories. I think they're expanding those factories. Here's what they said on the 10Q. We're simultaneously ramping new products, building or ramping manufacturing facilities on 3 continents, piloting the development and manufacture of new battery cell technologies, expanding our supercharger network, and investing in autonomy and other artificial intelligence-enabled training products. So it could be also they just announced a new supercomputer NVIDIA. They're buying as many chips as they can, 10,000. Any thoughts on this list here?
Well, this is exactly it. This kind of covers everything. Expanding the supercharger network is it is by far the cheapest thing on this list. If you just spent $1 billion on superchargers, you would make every customer happy in every location. And they are, and they will, but that's pennies compared to some of these. Ramping new products is going to be incredibly expensive. Building new factories is many of billions. And the big question mark is that last one, investing in autonomy and other artificial intelligence enabled training and products. That is kind of a black box. You put stuff in,
literally,
including money. Yeah, data, money, all of it, and you hope what comes out is the correct thing. So I don't know what the budget is just for that, but you can do some napkin math on the number of chips they're buying and get a pretty good idea. It's a lot of money.
He said $2 billion. They said that they're going to spend $2 billion this year and next year on Dojo. And then they said that their pace of capital spend is going to vary, of course. Priority among projects, the pace at which we meet milestones, production adjustments, increased capital efficiencies. Yeah, the addition of new projects. And then our business has been...
Real quick, the important thing on that is when he said 50% compound growth, anytime it's under, there's huge headlines. So he's reminding you, if we go over that spend in a particular quarter or year, don't freak out. If we go under it, don't freak out. That's the longer term.
Okay. Our business has been consistently generating cash flow from operations in excess of our level of capital spend. That's fantastic. Despite the fact that they're investing in AI. He actually even said that. Then he goes, it's unbelievable that they have cash flow. When they're investing in so many businesses, I don't know why people think that they're still a car company, because they're spending so much money on all these things and they're all going to pay off at some point. So what do you think, Brian, on that point?
So, and that's the big thing is are we doing buybacks? Can I have some of that money? No, we need it. We need it because we've got all these huge things and they're all so much more important. But I imagine we're going to talk about the economy and the buybacks as well.
No, I mean, yeah, they need the money. They raised that they
need the money.
23 to 26 billion. This is a auto company first and foremost. It's going through, major issues. They need this money, but then they're also investing. So this money that they're raising, I think this is specifically to the AI, a Cybertruck, and the new factories. Any last thoughts?
I think so. I think so too. And the people saying, well, we need buybacks. We don't need buybacks. I don't think we do. It's not the time. Elon is concerned of a force majeure in the economy that could kill the company if they don't have those cash reserves. Let's hang on to them. Some people are saying, well, we need to raise even more money. I don't necessarily think that's the case either, because that door remains open. If they need more money, certainly they would have access to it.
Okay. Thank you, Brian. Let's see if I do it again.
No,
okay. No. See you, Brian. Follow Brian on My Tesla Weekend. See everybody. Bye-bye.